Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm pleased to have with me today for today's announcement Tanya Sommieu, President of Fédération des Conseils Scolaires Francophones de l'Alberta. I want to thank Tanya and her colleagues from FCSFA for all of their work and their help bringing forward changes for the French First Language Arts and Literature and the French Immersion Language Arts and Literature curriculums. I would also like to thank Nadine Morton, who is the president from Fédération des Parents Francophones de l'Alberta, for providing constructive, helpful, and meaningful feedback and recommendations to enhance the two French K-6 curriculums. Since day one, my goal as Minister of Education has been to put the best curriculum possible in front of our students, one that will give them a strong foundation of essential knowledge and skills. We are another step closer to achieving that goal by moving forward with piloting more subjects of the draft K-6 curriculum. Today, we are releasing 3 updated draft K-6 curriculums for classroom piloting this September. Piloting these 3 subjects is in addition to the 3 curriculums being implemented in September. Those being kindergarten to grade 3 English Language Arts and Literature, and kindergarten to grade 3 math, as well as kindergarten to grade 3 physical education and wellness. This phased approach is based on expert advice of the Curriculum Implementation Advisory Group. The updated draft curriculums ready for piloting are Science, French First Language and Literature, and French Immersion Language Arts and Literature. As promised, we have been listening to all Albertans throughout the curriculum renewal process. Between March 2021 and March 2022, Albertans from across the province shared their feedback on the draft K-6 curriculum, completing more than 34,000 online surveys and participating in 31 virtual engagement sessions in 5 regions across Alberta. And through approximately $1 million in grants, 12 partner groups engaged directly with their communities to hear their unique perspectives. This feedback, along with feedback from previous classroom piloting, was used to update the 3 draft K-6 curriculum subjects ready for piloting this fall. Content was also aligned with top performing jurisdictions, not only in Canada, but also internationally. Some content changes were made across all 3 K-6 subjects, including updates to address some areas of concern with content load, age appropriateness, wording, clarity, as well as First Nations, Métis, and Inuit content. Other changes were subject specific. Other changes were subject specific. In science, we made updates to integrate scientific methods and hands-on activities, emphasize connections to nature, and address digital literacy and ethics. We also enhanced content in French First Language and Literature and French Immersion Language Arts and Literature to strengthen Francophone perspectives and culture, support higher-level thinking skills, and much more. I encourage all Albertans to explore these subject-specific changes in more detail at alberta.ca/curriculum. We recognize the importance of flexibility when it comes to classroom piloting, and we will ensure school authorities have maximum flexibility in how they choose to participate. We also recognize that teachers are critical to the success of classroom piloting, and we are committed to supporting them throughout the process. Their piloting experience will include professional learning opportunities, information, and tools to work with in the updated subject area for content, etc. And also it will include opportunities for teachers to share their feedback from their lived experience in the classroom. Classroom piloting does several things. It allows teachers to work with the curriculum and it helps us understand how students respond to the content. And of course, it also allows for the opportunity for how the volume of curriculum content works for age group involvement. It also allows learning and teaching resources to be identified and tested. To ensure this process is successful, we are providing comprehensive supports. This includes $6.5 million investment to give teachers release time so that they can plan ahead and participate in regular feedback sessions throughout the process. While it's optional for school authorities to participate in classroom piloting, I strongly encourage participation across the system to support our students in having the best curriculum possible. I am confident school authorities will be well positioned to identify their intent to participate in the piloting process by June 6th of this year. While classroom piloting is taking place, Albertans will also be able to provide feedback on these updated draft K-6 subjects. In spring of 2023, the feedback will inform final updates to the 3 curriculums prior to province-wide implementation during the 23-24 school year. Moving forward with draft K-6 curriculum piloting is an essential part of the renewal process. We will continue to take a balanced and phased approach to kindergarten to grade 6 curriculum renewal as our world is changing faster than ever before, and our children need the right skills and knowledge to navigate it. That is why it's so important to hear from piloting school authorities about what works best for their students. By working together, we will be one step closer to delivering the high-quality curriculum our elementary students need and deserve. Thank you, and now I will invite Tanya to say a few words. Thank you.
Merci, Ministre LaGrange. La Fédération des conseils scolaires francophones de l'Alberta ainsi que les conseils scolaires apprécient l'ouverture démontrée par le ministère de l'Éducation au cours des derniers mois quant à la mise à jour du programme d'études de français langue première et de littérature. Depuis la publication de la dernière mise à jour du curriculum, des enseignants et des conseillers pédagogiques des 4 conseils francophones ont analysé le curriculum et ont fourni des recommandations au ministère de l'Éducation pour que celui-ci réponde aux attentes de la communauté francophone albertaine. The FCSFA would like to thank Minister LaGrange and Alberta Education for their commitment in reviewing the French First Language and Literature draft program, as well as their collaboration with the Francophone school boards during this process. I am very pleased to confirm that beginning in September 2022, Alberta's Francophone school boards will pilot the draft kindergarten to grade 6 French First Language and Literature program released today by Alberta Education. Je suis heureuse de confirmer que dès septembre 2022, les conseils scolaires francophones de l'Alberta feront la mise à l'essai de l'ébauche du programme de français langue première et littérature de la maternelle à la 6e année, rendu public aujourd'hui par le ministère de l'Éducation. Cette mise à l'essai permettra à nos enseignants de se familiariser avec le programme d'études. Et de plus, nous anticipons que les rétroactions proposées durant la période d'essai viendront renforcer le programme et assurer que nos élèves puissent développer leurs compétences dans notre belle langue, tout en valorisant leur identité et leur culture. Nous sommes aussi ravis que le ministère de l'Éducation se soit engagé à un budget de 3,5 millions pour des ressources en français pour l'ensemble du nouveau curriculum. Une entente entre la FCSFA et le ministère permettra aux conseils scolaires francophones de participer à l'analyse et à la sélection de ces ressources en français. Cette collaboration entre le ministère et les 4 conseils scolaires est un partenariat important pour la réussite du nouveau curriculum et pour l'éducation francophone en Alberta. Enfin, la FCSFA et les conseils scolaires francophones sont engagés à continuer la collaboration avec le ministère afin que le prochain programme de français langue première et littérature puisse répondre le mieux possible aux besoins de tous les élèves francophones. Merci.
Thank you. We'll now go to media questions. We'll start in the room today and then go to the phone lines. And as a reminder, can I ask that you ask one question and one follow-up? For those in the room, please identify yourself and your outlet. Please go ahead with the first question.
Thank you. Shilan Skolsky with CTV News Edmonton. Just wondering, when you speak of the importance in terms of piloting and hearing back from classrooms, do you have a goal or an expectation, a benchmark in terms of how many classrooms will be piloting the new material rolling out this fall?
No, we don't have any expectation. We are hearing preliminarily that there are a number of school authorities very interested in piloting. That being said, we are providing maximum flexibility as we did last year, and we will look forward to seeing those expressions of interest come forward by the 6th of June.
Now, these changes are coming as student and teacher advocacy groups have raised concerns about the rollout, its timing, as well as changes to the curriculum. Essentially, teachers saying, or teacher advocacy groups saying that teachers might not be prepared, and we're going to, set up our students for failure, as well as perhaps the changes not going far enough. I'm wondering what your response is to this feedback and how you're incorporating it into the changes.
Well, I would remind everyone that we did have piloting teachers that piloted these subjects in the fall during the pandemic. So we did have teachers piloting English language arts, math, science, phys ed and wellness, and a number of other subjects that came forward in the first draft. They have provided us very rich feedback that we have incorporated. We have had the most extensive engagement process that I would say Alberta or any other province has ever seen on curriculum development, where anyone and everyone has had the opportunity to share their feedback, from teachers to administrators to education partner groups to everyday Albertans. Anyone who's wanted to has provided us that feedback. We've refined it. We also had the advisory Curriculum Implementation Advisory Committee as well, who have been instrumental in ensuring that these are curriculum experts. These are principals and teachers and superintendents who are working on that committee, who advised that we should in fact move forward with curriculum implementation as well as piloting. And so all of that rich feedback that we've received, we're doing exactly what we said we were going to do, and we're using it and making sure that we put the best curriculum in front of our students.
Thank you, Minister. Our next question.
Hi, Janet French from CBC. We heard in the technical briefing, and you've just reiterated partly here, that there are no goals or benchmarks for participation for demographic inclusion in piloting these next subjects. And I mean, that was a major criticism by many curriculum experts and educators in Alberta of the first round of piloting. So why would you then proceed with that same approach to piloting for this next tranche of subjects?
Well, first, I would remind everyone that previous curriculums that were introduced oftentimes were just given to teachers. They were not piloted. We felt very strongly that we want the participation of teachers and the ability to further refine draft curriculum. So it was very important for us to pilot. We have received rich feedback from those teachers and school authorities that did pilot it this past year. And also, as I indicated to the previous question that was asked, that we have had the Curriculum Implementation Advisory Committee group that has been made up of curriculum experts as well as teachers, administrators, superintendents who have advised us to move forward with piloting. They feel it's very important along with the implementation of the subjects that we're bringing in the fall. So they were instrumental in ensuring how we rolled out the implementation of those 3 subjects that I announced previously. And now these 3 subjects will be piloted in this upcoming year.
But other organizations like the Alberta School Boards Association have actually asked you to indefinitely delay some of this curriculum until it can be further improved to include more perspectives or there's more agreement among educational experts that it's taking the right approach. Why not listen to them? Why only the advisory committee you appointed?
We are working with all school authorities and all education partners, but when we look at implementation, this is operational, so we really want to make sure that we are hearing the voices of the teachers and the administrators and the superintendents that are on the front lines of actually implementing curriculum, as well as ensuring that we have the pilots in place. So we have been working with the Alberta School Boards Association as well as school authorities individually, and I'm looking forward to hearing those expressions of interest, because we're already hearing some off-the-record expressions of interest have been coming in.
Hi, Mirna Djukic pour Radio-Canada. My question is actually for Madame Saumur.
Sure.
Oh. Je vais vous la poser en français, si vous pouvez répondre en français et en anglais, s'il vous plaît. Il n'y a pas si longtemps, on avait un refus en bloc des 4 conseils scolaires francophones de mettre à l'essai tout le programme. Maintenant, les 4 acceptent. En gros, qu'est-ce qui a changé, qu'est-ce qui explique ce changement de cap assez drastique?
Au cours des derniers mois, nos enseignants et nos conseillers pédagogiques des 4 conseils scolaires ont travaillé avec Alberta Education pour fournir des rétroactions et des recommandations sur le nouveau programme d'études. All 4 Francophone boards had teachers and educational advisors provide feedback that was reflected in this new draft that is being released today. So we will continue to work with Alberta Education to provide feedback and to ensure that the new French first language and literature program meets the needs of Francophone students across Alberta.
Mais si vous pouvez être un petit peu plus spécifique, on sait qu'il y avait des inquiétudes sur l'inclusion, par exemple, de l'identité francophone, d'un sentiment d'appartenance. Qu'est-ce qui a changé qui vous convainc que c'est le temps? Et est-ce que vous aviez le choix, même rendu à cette étape-ci?
Je suis fière du travail qui a été fait par les 4 conseils scolaires francophones pour fournir des rétroactions et des recommandations sur la première version du programme d'études. La mise à l'essai du nouveau programme permettra de continuer à fournir des rétroactions au ministère et de nous assurer que le nouveau programme de français langue première et littérature puisse répondre le mieux possible aux besoins des élèves francophones de l'Alberta.
Thank you. That's all the questions we have for today. Thank you for joining us.